Banter.
Welcome into the Bogey Bro Banter. Before we get into this episode, we have a quick word from our friends at Legacy Discs. Legacy Discs is bringing back the Confidence Clash this July. The Confidence Clash is a fun way to run a 3-disc challenge-styled event in your area and be able to raise funds for your local club or course. Players Pack includes 2 premium discs and 1 baseline putter of your host choice, along with Legacy towel and sticker sheet. In addition to the Players Pack, winners will receive a very nice Winners Pack. For more information about the Clash and how to run or participate in one, please visit legacydisc.com/cc22. And remember, play with confidence. All right.
Trevor.
Fill me in.
Let me go and tell you something.
You tell me something.
So, the other week, whenever we had the banter, and you were not here.
Yeah.
Hunter and I talked about...
Yeah, and then I got back and you were all like, it was the best banter we ever had. Like, we should just never have you on, and it hurt my feelings. So.
We were making a joke, and I do apologize for that.
Well, it hurt my feelings, and it's too bad.
Well, you know, Hunter was making the joke at you, and I want Hunter's approval desperately.
I think we should
So I had to join in.
We could just make this
so
whole
you understand
banter
that, right?
improv session. What? Yeah.
What do you mean improv? What do you mean? That's what it is.
No, like actual improv acting.
I will say that whenever I was trying to get the audio set up over there, I told Trevor to talk into my mic, and he said it like he was reading an audiobook, and it was hilarious.
It's pretty good, wasn't it?
It was very funny.
Pretty good improv.
I wanted to look over because I was convinced you were actually reading.
Pretty good improv guy. You know?
Anyway,
okay.
So Hunter and I talked about how I just wanted to wake up early so that I could work out and like have like quiet time or whatever.
Yes.
And I just couldn't do it. I couldn't convince myself to wake up.
Yeah, same.
So what I started doing, and it worked.
Mm-hmm.
Please
tell me.
I put my phone across the room. Because then, you know what gets me up out of bed more than anything? Disappointment. And if I don't go turn that alarm off immediately, my wife is going to be so mad at me because it's just going to meh, and she doesn't need to wake up yet.
Yes.
And so it's the perfect motivation for me. And I don't want to make it sound like my wife is some person who's going to like reach across the bed and just start smacking me or something.
No, but
like,
I mean, yeah.
But like anybody, like
it would be annoying.
It would be the same thing if my wife's alarm is going off. I'd be like, Gabby, would you please turn off your alarm? It's annoying me. And so I've got up every morning this week. I've got up at 5:00 every morning. So last week we were in Charleston.
Yes.
Did not do that there.
No.
But the week before that was my first week doing it. Every day the week before that, I got up at 5:00.
Yeah.
Even if I didn't get a lot of sleep. You know why? Because my phone is across the room. So because like literally the hardest part is getting out of bed for me.
Yeah.
No, and by the time I get to my phone, I'm out of bed.
It is. The first thing I'm thinking when my alarm goes off is like, how much more sleep can I get? Every time.
Yep.
Guaranteed.
But I will say the struggle is that I've trained myself to like, I set my alarm an hour earlier than I'm supposed to get up, and I just snooze for an hour.
Oh, that's bad.
Yeah, it is really bad. It's not, you do not teach yourself good discipline whenever you do that. But I can, yesterday and today, I felt myself very close to like, I don't want to do this anymore. Because by the time I'm driving to work, I'm having a great day already.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
It's fantastic.
Yeah,
I love being up.
Just once you get going, you're good to go.
It feels very good. But like yesterday, my alarm goes off. I didn't get a lot of sleep that night because I was just up later than I meant to be. So I got up, snoozed my alarm, got back in bed, and I was like, I feel like I could use another 10 minutes. Then I got up, and I was good to go.
Yeah.
This morning, did the same thing. I went and I snoozed it. I'm not going to let myself snooze tomorrow.
Don't do that.
Because
that's a big mistake.
That is just a line of me just grabbing my phone and moving back to bed and just setting my
alarm
back for 6:30.
I actually like this idea because I have this problem where I do not like working out after work because after work my day is done in my mind.
Mm-hmm.
And also like that is like typically like evening time is a lot harder to free up than morning time because like you're not doing anything in the morning.
Yes, it is much harder to free up.
I will say my alarm, if I were to do that, and I might give it a try because I do want to get back to morning workouts because they're way better. If I do that, it'll be extra high stakes because not only is there a wife in my room, but there's a infant. And if I wake that baby up, I might as well jump off the balcony because that...
You might as well just leave your alarm going beside your wife's head.
Yeah, exactly. So that, like, I'm just picturing like I already scramble for my alarm when it goes off right next to me and like just spam the buttons. I take like 10 screenshots while I'm trying to turn off my alarm. And because I try to just get it off so quickly before I wake up my son, who's like over there chilling in his, bed thing. And so I'm just thinking if I do that, you're going to see an Olympic sprinter like roll. I'll probably have to warn Kenzie because she'll think that somebody is like attacking us.
But that would be very good motivation, though.
It would be the best motivation. But it's like at what
and then
point
you just
do
run
I go
straight
insane?
to your phone and just keep running out the door.
I do need
go
like
for a run.
I totally would love to have a morning routine though again because like I did for that. There was a really good stretch there before I had Brooks that like Hunter and I were getting up 3 days a week to go to the gym and like it was pretty good. It was a pretty good like little situation there because you had so much time in the morning and like I would love to like get up again, have time to make breakfast, pack lunch, whatever, do a workout, shower, all that stuff. So I don't know. Maybe I'll give it a try. Maybe I'll try it tomorrow.
Well, I will say that like, what was I literally just about to say?
We also have a gym in our apartment complex that
That's nice.
I need to see what that looks like at.
My wife's trying to convince me for us to move into an apartment.
Yeah.
We already made the decision we're not going to. I just can't do we just went somewhere that maybe is like a little bit cheaper, but like also like our house is so cheap.
Apartments
anyway.
are not cheap.
And like I would have no problem moving into an apartment if it wasn't for the fact that I already have a lawnmower and a weed eater and a leaf blower.
Yeah, you already got house stuff.
And a pressure washer all like under my back porch. So like
got house
what am I
already.
going to do with it? Yeah, exactly.
So
and it's not going to happen. You remember whenever I bought that weed eater? I was so excited.
I understand. Well, if you live in an apartment, you don't have any weeds to eat, though.
I want to use my weed eater.
No, yeah, not having.
But she did almost get me though because she said that she found a place that is like $100 cheaper a month than we're paying right now, and it's 3 bedrooms, and there's a gym and a pool, and she said that there's a pond lake for fishing. Like, as well.
That's cool. Where was that magical?
It had to have been bull crap.
Yeah.
I'm like, there's
insane.
no way. I was looking on my map last night. I was like, I don't see any bodies of water.
I will say apartment complexes, man, they will finesse you because like ours, and our apartment complex is fine, and the pool is actually pretty nice, and the gym is honestly pretty nice. It's not huge, but it's like it's fine. I'll have to see what it's like at like 5 a.m. I think it's open 24 hours. But if it's like dead at 5 a.m, that's a great situation. But like they said they had a jogging trail, and that means a lot of different things to a lot of people. And when I first was going there, I was like, this is electric. Like I love the fact that there's a jogging trail. The jogging trail is basically like these little paths that connect the various parking lots, and like you can't even find a loop that's any amount of distance that's sufficeable. So they finessed me with that one. But yeah, no, apartment living is not cheap. It's not. I mean, we have a 2-bedroom and it's pretty expensive.
Well, it's just nice that a lot of your stuff is included in the rent.
Yes.
Well,
yeah. I mean, but we pay rent and then we pay utilities and internet and all that stuff.
Okay. Well, then never mind. It's no different.
We pay rent and then we pay electric on top of that, and then you pay for the water, sewer. Like, yeah.
Wow. So that's not a lot of apartments though. It's all included in the rent though.
Probably some of them, yeah.
I think where my wife lived before was. But anyway, I was saying that I was waking up early.
Yes.
Just so I could tell you this one thing. I wasn't trying to brag about me waking up early.
No,
however, I'm
brag.
very proud of myself. So like I'm not trying to be arrogant about it, but I am proud of myself. I feel successful. For breakfast this morning.
Yes.
And I wouldn't have made myself breakfast, but my wife decided that she wanted to wake up. I'll get up at 5 and then I work out.
Is that okay? Anytime I ever like try to start like a morning routine, my wife's like, "Oh, I'm gonna wake up too at the same time." Does that happen to you too?
Yeah, so this is actually I feel like I can talk about this because my wife doesn't listen to it, and if she did, I'm not gonna talk about her in a bad way at all. But whenever I wanted to start this routine, and I started doing it. She said, maybe I'll get up with you then and do that. And apparently I didn't react the right way. And she thought that I hated hanging out with her and that I wished I'd never married her. And so, but it was my fault. I probably just didn't say anything, and that was the problem. I am very bad about doing that, and so I had to tell her like I would love that. So the only reason why I didn't say anything to the idea, and this is not because of my wife specifically. This is just because of a marriage relationship. Sometimes we don't necessarily do things the same way.
Yeah.
And sometimes her way is better than mine, but I don't care. I still want to do it my way. And so if we both wake up in the morning and like I'm working out the way I want to work out and like I'm doing my quiet time the way I want to do my quiet time, there's just a possibility that she wakes up as well. She's like, well, then why did you do it like that? Like, it's way faster if you do it this way. Or like, you're not actually, your form actually, you're actually working your muscles out way better if you do it this way. And like, that's not, again, it's not like my wife is super naggy. That is just how marriage works. And so that's what I was thinking was like, we would wake up at the same time, and that time that I was going to spend being like productive by myself was going to be like me just thinking I'm doing things wrong. And then I was like, well, I'm being dumb. That was rude for me to react that way. That was an assumption, and you can't just have assumptions like that. Talk to her about it. We're cool. Everything's cool. And you know what? She got up this morning at 6 o'clock. I got up at 5 o'clock, worked out, and then I did not take a shower. Just to be clear, I don't want everybody to think I'm stinky, but I didn't sweat because I was just lifting weights. I wasn't doing any cardio.
Yeah, I mean,
I knew I had to mow the lawn after work today, so I was like, I'm not going to take 2 showers.
I don't usually break a sweat if I'm just doing like
But if I do
lifting.
like my jump roping, then I always take a shower. But this morning I did not take a shower, and so I was like, I'm going to go downstairs, and so I start reading, and then she wakes up at 6. She comes down there. And we have a wonderful morning. I would not have eaten breakfast if she didn't come down there. Not because she made it for me. She just got all the ingredients out. She was like, do you want breakfast? And I was like, I didn't know breakfast. I forgot breakfast was a thing.
Yeah, what's breakfast?
And so
who's breakfast?
We made breakfast, and then we just sat there beside each other while we read. And it was a wonderful time. It was much more wonderful. It was much more wonderful than if I had done it myself, because I was just as focused, because she was extremely polite about like, this is like, I chose to get up early so I could spend my time doing this. So that's what I'm going to do. So she didn't like try to talk to me really, except for like a little bit every once in a while, but it was like sweet conversation. And then also I felt even more successful because my wife was watching me be successful. And so now I feel like even more of a man.
There's nothing
because my wife knows how cool I am.
Yes.
So that's great. For breakfast, I'm really going off the rails on every conversation.
I'm dying to hear about breakfast.
Avocado toast.
Great start.
But just avocado toast. That's all I had. But is the way I made it.
Olive oil, salt, and pepper.
No.
What'd you do?
This is how you make an avocado toast. I'll make it for you sometime.
I usually add like something spicy to mine. Maybe there's a little sriracha on there.
This is how I'll make it for you sometime.
Can I make it?
I'll make it for you. Don't worry about it.
So
first you take the toast,
and
then pepper jelly.
Oh,
very light on the pepper jelly though. You
just
don't want
a little
too
bit
much.
of something.
Then you're gonna want to go ahead and put that avocado mash on there.
How hard do you mash your avocado? Is it like practically whipped, or is it pretty? Got some chunks in there.
This morning it was chunky because they were not quite right.
That's okay. If you avocados can basically be awful. If you mash them, they're fine.
Yeah, exactly. I don't know why that is.
Breaks them down. They're not tough anymore.
Anyway, so pepper jelly, avocado, and then goat cheese.
Ooh, not a big goat cheese guy.
You will be. It adds that little bit of tartness that you need.
Not a big tart guy.
Do you like feta cheese?
Not a big feta guy. That kind of that flavor of cheese is like
I almost got you.
That flavor of cheese is not really. I mean, when you describe
it's not really cheese. It's like
it's a crumble.
It's not. It doesn't
when you
taste
describe that flavor profile to me, it does sound delicious. I just have this weird
a little. It's Brad. A little squeeze of lemon.
Well, yeah. I usually always add lemon juice to my avocado mash.
It was delicious.
Yeah,
I loved it. I accidentally dumped a lot of goat cheese on it. Didn't mean to do that, but still was good. Brad, how do you feel about goat cheese?
In what context?
Like, do you like it?
In any context.
Yeah, it's good.
Let me explain to you. Brad says, yep, it's good. Let me explain to you what my breakfast was, and you tell me if you would eat it.
All right.
Toast. So it's avocado toast, but a different kind. Do you like avocados?
No, I'm
Okay, well,
Never mind
Never
then.
mind. That
Avocado is like the main
not
part.
like avocado.
So
not
it's
a big avocado.
That's
guy.
okay though. You don't need to like avocado. But it was toast and then pepper
He's
jelly
still gonna explain it to you.
and then avocado and then goat cheese.
That's what we have for breakfast today.
Okay. Well, I mean, I'm in for everything with avocado. I don't understand why you like green mush so much.
It's
I
delicious.
just like it. I like
love
baby food.
avocado.
I like baby
It's
food that
so
doesn't really
good.
taste like anything.
I'm the only one in my house that doesn't like it though. I get it.
I'm a big breakfast sandwich guy. My like, and I'm a pretty simplistic breakfast sandwich guy because like I don't need things to be crazy. I like them on toast or on maybe a plain bagel. Mm-hmm. But then just egg, cheese. I like to throw a hash brown on there. That makes things exciting. And then just a little bit of grape jelly. Whoop, just sneak it in there.
Yeah, I
Just
like
a
that.
little
I need the
sweetness.
sweetness in
Ooh,
there.
little
I need the
sweetness.
sweetness in almost everything I eat. There has to be sweet and salty.
Yeah, it's always breakfast.
Unless it's just a steak, then I'll just eat a steak. I love steak.
Have you seen? There's these TikToks going on right now. Apparently in Texas right now, it's like really hot. Go figure.
Weird.
But there's this TikTok account.
It was hot in South Carolina.
There's this TikTok account that's like letting a pan heat up in the sun, and they're like cooking steaks and burgers. Like
That's
actually,
awesome.
like they're laying down these like things of meat, and they're sizzling. Like the pan is getting hot.
That's
hot.
crazy.
So, what do you think we could cook in Lynchburg?
Should we do that today?
It's not. It's gonna be 93 today. That's not
But
nearly
it's
hot
the
enough.
sun. The sun is the important part.
Yeah. Do you have a cast iron on you?
Mm-mm.
Okay. So maybe we need to bring a
Do we have
cast iron.
anything metal?
We could just cook it on a laptop.
You just cook it on your car.
Oh, that would be fun. Yeah. I've seen
do you-
people bake cookies on the dash of their car before.
Yeah.
My car gets well over 100 degrees.
I once
in the
saw
sun.
in an episode of Top Gear, the British version, of course. Well, the old British version before they ruined it. I don't want to go down that, okay?
Okay.
Jeremy Clarkson is my hero.
Yes.
So anyway, on the old British Top Gear, they did an episode. It might have not have been Top Gear. It might have been Grand Tour. It doesn't matter. They were cooking food, and they picked up roadkill, and they wrapped it in tinfoil, and they stuck it on top of their radiator, closed their hood, and kept driving.
He cooked roadkill?
Yeah.
That couldn't have smelled good.
I don't think they ate it. I mean, a lot of that show is scripted, but that's like what's so funny.
I think probably the craziest thing that we ever ate here was those chicken nuggets. So one time, if you go,
We swore we would never tell anybody this.
We're going to right now. If you ever are in the mood for a really good time, you should go watch this video. It's like we pranked Hunter, like Wheel of
We
Pranks.
prank our boss,
We
something
pranked
like
our
that.
boss. The music is like totally normal level and it won't deafen you. But if you ever want to watch that video, and at one point we just dumped chicken nuggets into his desk drawer because like that's funny.
Chicken nugget desk.
And then some reason we were like, what if we just
Frozen chicken nuggets.
They're
that
frozen,
is.
so they're already cooked.
Mm-hmm.
They're just frozen now. And we sat them out in the sun.
In the desk drawer.
In the desk drawer.
Just took the whole drawer out and just stuck it in the sun
So
because
was
we were
the
gonna
idea
we were
to-
gonna dump them, but then you said, "What if we cook them in the sun?"
Yeah, it was really hot out. I was like, what if we just cook them in the sun? And then
in a wooden drawer.
we went out, wood stove, you know, and then we went out there
not-
and they
it's
were
not-
like heated up completely, and we took a bite of them.
They were warm.
They were gross.
They-
They didn't get any crispness to them. That's why.
It's not. This is exactly what happened. Yes, they did not get any They didn't get any Christmas and any
It
crispness.
tasted like chicken mush
It was literally chicken mush.
because the
But
water
what-
just kind of the frozen water just kind of melted off of them and sogged them up.
yeah, and they didn't have a way to crisp. There was no like,
Yeah.
yeah.
But we ate desk drawer chicken nuggets here.
Well, yeah, but the funny thing was that we both took a bite, and then we were both like, "It's not that bad."
Well, I mean, it can only be so bad. I mean,
we had
it's
to
an already
throw it out.
cooked
If
chicken
we
nugget.
didn't throw it out immediately, just like because I don't have any self control, I would have eaten another one.
No,
You're right, I wouldn't have.
that's tough to say on live television.
Man, I shouldn't have said
Have you ever seen the guy who cooked the chicken and the steak by slapping it?
I know of it. I don't think I watched.
He
the whole
made
thing,
he
though.
made a mechanism that just slapped it repeatedly,
Because
and like
of
the friction
friction.
created enough heat that he was able to cook it to temperature, like in the center.
That is crazy to
And
me.
it obviously tasted pretty gross because of the way it was cooked.
Yeah.
It basically looked like a sous vide steak with that wasn't seared.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a thing. What's like
It's
I mean,
well, it's like during the our slap mulligan challenges. Like I bet I could have just taken a
Could've
bite
just
out of Hunter's cheek. By the end of that.
Probably. I think it'd be an interesting YouTube channel to just like try and cook things in the most creative ways. Like get lightning to strike something. Has that been done?
Can you cook with a taser?
Oh,
Is that possible?
it's got. I mean, there's got to be some heat involved there. I've tased myself. I didn't.
I mean, whenever
it
you
doesn't burn
electrocute something, it burns.
Should we get a taser? I think if we got
I've
a taser,
always
Hunter
wanted a
would.
taser.
You never had one?
No,
They're so accessible, man.
So
They're
close
so
to-
cheap.
They're cheap. They're like $30. You can buy a taser.
Oh, I had one for less than that.
What?
Oh yeah,
I want
it
a
was
taser
like this.
so
This is like
bad.
this size. It had the prongs just folded out of it. You plugged it straight into the wall.
Like to charge it?
Yeah, sucker was
That-
loud. They have a lot more bark
Yeah,
than they have bite
they
because,
are-
like, yeah, it hurt. Yeah, obviously,
It
it was
sounds
a taser,
scary.
but it's loud. I remember.
That's why like the cops that hold the taser guns, like you don't think that's that intimidating, but then like my aunt is
taser
a
gun would be a whole new.
my aunt is a sheriff, so like she'll like take it out and just like click it, and it just like that.
It's a
sound that makes-
crackle.
That was a pretty good. That was a pretty good interpretation.
terrifying.
Of it. It is so loud and scary.
Yeah.
Like you think like it wouldn't be that scary.
If
and then you
you
hear it,
if I got a taser and like I let you tase me in the leg, like would you let me tase you?
yeah.
I don't know if you would. It's really scary. Like I'm not even saying it takes a lot of courage. Like it took me it is very, very scary.
I mean, you know, there would be like a lot of buildup of me like freaking out, but like I like that stuff though. Okay, I kind of once I overcome it, I like it.
I
But,
have a
like,
video on my phone. I'll have to show
I mean,
you.
I used to get shocked by the electric fence all the time. Whenever
On
I
purpose.
used, yeah, I mean, my sisters are out there, and I know I can make them laugh if I grab the electric fence. I'm gonna do it.
Electricity
Like when I was a kid.
always freaks me out. Like I'm the type of guy who there's a few like scenario like I'll be changing my car battery and just be like wincing at every spark, or I'll be drilling into a wall and just be like, what if I just hit some kind of electricity and I fly like 10 feet backwards and explode? Like I'm that electricity. I respect electricity.
I respect electricity.
I've got a lot of respect.
I'm
Apparently
like-
you don't, because you just be grabbing electric fences. You clearly are not.
I was a kid. I was a kid.
I mean, I'd be like, you have more as a kid.
Well, I
would-
ran into it so much with my bike. I knew what it felt like.
I have always been like electric fence to me. That's horrifying.
It is well. The real thing is that whenever you grab it, it doesn't immediately shock you because it sends like a.
Do you ever-
It sends a shock like every few seconds. You'll grab it and be like, "Oh, it's not live."
Did you ever know one of those menaces that had that shock gum walking around as a kid? Where you
Oh,
pulled the
what?
piece of gum.
Oh
and it
yeah,
shocked you.
So that's where I think that I'd be okay because like with all of those things, I was always so scared of doing them. Like the shock pens, it would terrify me. But then once I did it once and I felt it,
Yeah, no. Once
I would
you
just
do
start
it, well, that's the
mashing
thing is the taser. It's like a lot harder to convince.
No,
yourself
like the
that
taser
first
doesn't
time
hurt that bad.
because it's so loud and it's like there's bolts of lightning.
oh
coming
my
out of it.
gosh,
Like you're just looking.
you're
at,
right. Just thinking about it, I am
I
terrified.
might have to get one. I'm gonna have to get one to bring it in. I mean, Hunter will probably yell at me. He would be scared of it for sure. I mean, and there's no shame in
I
it.
think that's why he's just sitting at his desk. Just
No, we only
that's
ever
not a
tase-
thing. Like I don't think a taser's a thing where you just like play around. And just,
no,
hit somebody with
in
it.
my dorm room, we ran under taser law, and
You told me this before.
yeah,
So funny.
we all each had a taser, and it just demanded it. There was just certain we never used them on each other. The rule was if you wanted to have a taser, you had to tase yourself so that you knew the kind of pain you could inflict on
So
someone.
that's actually what a lot of like police academies do.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Except for with
And
guns.
they do with pepper spray too. So.
You don't have to shoot yourself if you want to carry a gun. But I think everything you carry, you have to be
Yeah.
hit with.
But like we never tased each other, not once, because it's that like it commands respect when you see those things. Like they're loud and they're scary. But I tased myself a few times in the leg for entertainment as a little court jester back in the college days. And
Give the first time that you hit yourself with the taser. I
It-
want to know what the
so
context was.
the context was simply that we had gotten a taser and I was going to test it out on myself. So
Did it take some build up or like
Yeah.
Okay.
Most certainly. And
were you pretty similar personality wise in college as you are right now?
no.
No,
I mean,
you think
yeah,
you were out
to
there
an ex-
more, or do you think they're out? you were out
Well,
there less?
no, okay, yeah, on the setting of like my hall,
Yeah,
yes, definitely.
Okay.
Like I was pretty much the same, pretty like carefree guy. But
Mm-hmm.
it's an interesting feeling. It's like it feels like your entire leg just seizes up, like it just like grabs your leg. It's very.
I want to do it so.
I mean,
bad,
it definitely
but, like, also, I
immobilizes
don't
you
want
because
to.
like I can't like we stayed away from important body parts. Like it was always like the leg or the arm.
Not the neck.
No, but like I can't imagine getting you somewhere like central body. Your whole body would just seize up and you'd fall to the ground. Like it, yeah. Because we'd always do it like sitting down too, because like we didn't want to fall.
Have you ever seen the Rhett and Link video where they tase each other with the taser cane?
Oh, I've seen the
very
taser cane
funny.
before.
It's very funny.
And the thing is, they
I'll show
vary
you
in,
after
they
this.
vary in voltage a lot too, because my roommate Nate and I each had one that was like pretty low key. It was pretty small, like kind of just like but like it still hurt and it still was very loud. But then our other roommate Pete had a bigger one that was a little bit higher voltage, not crazy. I forget what he called it. I want to say he called it like the shock doctor or something.
The shock doctor.
But it was a little scarier and it had a little more bite to it. That one, I don't even know if I ever got tased with that one because it was a little.
Whenever you
scary.
tase yourself with it, is it like a kind of thing, or is it like a?
I would hold it to my leg and then just because you don't want to see
Oh.
yourself pushing that lightning into your leg, bro.
Oh,
So I would hold it to my
you're
leg
holding it to your leg and
press
then
the
press
button.
it.
Yeah,
What if you just like you can't let go?
Nah, you definitely.
What
can.
damage can be done with a taser? Like what?
A lot.
Like, what?
There was like
permanent
serious
damage can
There
be
was
done.
like serious warnings on them about like not holding them on for too long, like what it can do to you. I forget exactly.
It'll
But
cook you.
certain body parts, I mean, it's electricity running through your body, so like, it's basically
I'm gonna wake myself up with it every morning.
it can be bad. We had a lot of electricity fun in our room because we also had the TENS machine. You know what those are that like tense up your muscles and you put them on certain.
Oh
parts.
yeah.
Yeah.
Like the guy who made himself.
Dab, yeah. We had one of those in our room because like you can actually use them for muscle rehabilitation. Like there's uses for them, but obviously we would just like mess around with it. And that was a good time. We had like just watching somebody's like arm muscle just like like tense up.
Electricity's fun.
It's so
It's
scary,
scary, but
it
it's
is a
fun.
good time. Let me tell you.
Gosh.
Yeah. Oh man. Maybe we'll have to get a taser in here, huh? This thing's still legal. I'm probably saying all this in the podcast, and there's just like a police officer like writing it down as I say it. Like this is gonna come back to bite me somehow.
Yeah, it's gonna come back to bite you because I'm gonna tase you. You want to get up at 5 o'clock every morning? I'll be there.
It would be a pretty electrifying,
Literally.
like like Foundation Nation.
I was thinking
punishment
that as
type
well.
thing. It's just so scary. It's so
Like,
scary.
what if that's on the wheel?
Oh my gosh, it's terrifying.
What is a video good enough to where punishment would be tased? Being tased.
No, I think it would have to be a video where like there's a big reward on the line. So like that way it's like, yeah, it's an awful punishment if you don't get it, but if you do get, like, the stakes are high both ways. So maybe next if there's like a good offer for like a break something like video again, like we did at New London, but this time it'll be like a good and bad. And so you have a choice whether or not to accept it. I like that idea. Like the terms are presented to you and then it's like, okay, if you,
I think that we bring a taser to USCDC,
we
and
would definitely not get through Rhino.
no, this is before. We're not at USCDC with a taser. We're just at Winthrop Gold with a taser.
Oh, okay.
And
Every time you miss the island, you get tased?
every time you miss the
my
island, you get
gosh.
tased.
Try and simulate the pressure?
yeah,
It's honestly a great idea, except it's horrifying.
it's terrible.
Imagine like you stumble onto that disc golf course and you just like see some guy throw a frisbee
Oh,
and
dang
get
it.
tased. And then like over and over again.
Yeah.
Like what in the world? It's scary. I'd be curious to know if it's as bad as I remember. I had that taser for a long time and then it broke. My roommate chucked
It's
it across
always the
room.
like how much you work it. How much you expect it to be is always worse than it actually is. I would say that until I got a tattoo, and I'd convinced myself that like I was terrified of getting tattoos. I
Yeah.
hate anything that breaks skin. Like that terrifies me. Like if I fall and scrape my knee, that I don't care about that. But like
getting a needle.
needles, like
yeah.
I do not like that.
They
Like
still
I think
freak me out.
I think like my worst nightmare would be if like somebody was holding my family hostage and they were like, you just have to cut your hand open.
Yeah, I know.
And like I would do it, but it would like it takes so much.
you just have to look away.
That's terrifying.
and slice.
It's terrifying.
I got like a whooping cough shot thing before I had Brooks to like make, because like you didn't even give them whooping cough, I guess. They're like super susceptible when they're young. And I had had a shot in a long time. And seeing that needle like come out, I was like, I am like a grown man. And that still is not like my favorite thing ever. It really isn't. I've never been...
Getting a tattoo is very similar to tasing, actually, because the sound is very aggressive.
Yeah.
It's like, as soon as you walk into the tattoo parlor and you hear that bzzz, it's like so much more ear-piercing than you would expect, and it's a very scary noise. And it smells like rubbing alcohol in there from cleaning stuff, and so you're just like, I'm getting a surgery done on me.
What would you
Why did I choose to do this?
Like the feeling of pain to?
So it's...
Obviously, it's repeated.
I think everyone who says that a tattoo doesn't hurt they're not necessarily that they're lying purposefully. They just might not realize that they're lying because they might not mind the pain. They might not mind that kind of pain.
Yeah.
Because like there's different kinds of pain that like you can handle as a person. Like I could probably handle a different kind of pain more than somebody who can handle like a needle pain. Mm-hmm. But like, or not. I'm a huge wimp. But like the whole like needle thing, it hurts really bad. But some people just don't mind that kind of pain. It doesn't bother them as much.
Yeah.
So like for me, this was my first one right here on my wrist. And I thought it was going to be the worst thing ever, and I was right. As literally my whole family got theirs done first, and they were like, it's not that bad. My dad was like, it seriously was not, because me and my dad were the most scared. The girls just didn't care. They've got to give birth, so nothing hurts them. But me and my dad were terrified. My dad gets it done, and he's like acting pretty calm. He's like, the guy starts, and he's like, oh, like it's actually not that bad. Like it really doesn't. It's not bad at all. And then my best friend got his first tattoo at the same time, so he did the same thing. He was like, oh, it's really not bad. So I sit down, and I knew my entire life that this was gonna be the worst thing that's ever happened. And I was like, okay, it's fine. He starts, and I immediately scream out loud, this is almost worse than I thought it was going to be. You guys are liars. And I looked at the guy, John, who was giving me that tattoo, and I said, John, you are hurting me. I said, you are hurting me so much. And if my family wasn't there watching me get it done, I would have had him stop halfway through because it hurt so bad. I did not like it. I know I'm a huge wimp to everybody out there, but like
Brad's shaking his head.
I know. I hated it. It was as bad as I expected it to be. And
Compare it to something.
And since it's like
something that I could relate to.
It feels like a shot. It feels like a shot that you're getting 1,000 times. That's what it felt like to me.
The needle is so much smaller though.
So people say it's like,
I don't know if that mic's plugged in.
It's not plugged in. Come here, Brad.
Come on back here, Brad. This is the banter. It's freestyle. Give me your opinion.
Banter. No, I think the best description of this pain is like picture the worst sunburn you've ever gotten.
Yeah.
And then you bump it on the corner of a table.
I've heard that.
That's what I think it's like.
See, I just don't think you mind the pain as much.
I probably don't, but I don't know. To me, it doesn't feel like something's piercing your skin over and over and over.
It's just like a hard poke.
No, it's like I don't know. It's like a burn. Like it's like burning as it goes across.
So the way I like describe it is like literally think of, for me.
Well, I'm getting double sleeves. So
for me, and maybe it's just like this for me because I had already thought about it, but like literally think about the process of getting a tattoo, okay? That needle going in and out of your skin repeatedly 1,000 times, leaving ink in there. Exactly what it felt like. To me, it felt exactly like what is happening when we get a tattoo.
Well, I don't think use any kind of numbing when they give tattoos.
And you know what's probably happening?
There's like topical
whenever it's happening,
things.
I'm probably thinking in my head, this is a needle going in and out of my skin over and over and over again 1,000 times. And that's probably why it hurts me so much.
It's all up here.
But like, it was bad. This one was not nearly as bad, except for up here, here where it was closer to my elbow pit. Hurt really bad, but he started there because he said it was gonna hurt like crap. But once he got to the top of my arm right here, like this part, like it didn't. That part didn't bother me. I was playing Subway Surfer left-handed while he was doing that. So,
Subway Surfer, that's the key. You know what the worst was when I was a kid was having my mom dig splinters out of my feet.
Oh my gosh, you're right.
So
moms do not care how much you're in pain. They would get in there.
But here's the funny thing is your foot is like obviously incredibly tough. And anytime
I hated that. I wouldn't tell my mom whenever I got a splinter.
Oh yeah.
I would be like,
no, it's not a splinter. No, it's not a splinter. Anytime I would get a splinter, I never once had an actually painful experience having to get one out, because obviously, like, a little needle into like the tiny little part of your foot, like, it's not going to be that big of a deal.
No, dude, my mom would get in there with toenail clippers.
Toenail clippers.
Yeah, to clip the skin around it.
Oh,
Gosh, it was so bad.
that's rough.
I would
But
get, like, bad
there was
spinners though when I was a
a
kid.
pretty famous story of, like, I was like probably 5 or 6 years old, and we were at the beach, and I got a splinter on the deck, and my mom had to literally sit on my back as I was screaming my head off in a bedroom, like, sit on top of me so that
Oh my gosh.
she could dig the splinter out. But then I also remember, like, not another time at the beach, like, being very chill about it. So I think I got over it eventually. My Nana's porch growing up, her
It is
deck around her
terrifying.
pool, before they got it redone, my dad rebuilt their deck, and it ended up being really nice, and there was no more splinters after that. But before that, it was old, and, like, the whole rule of that deck was, like, you got to march, basically. You got to pick your feet up, because if you drag your feet, see you later. So splinters were gotten on that deck.
Gotcha.
And that was, to this day, like, if I get a splinter in my finger, like, I'm not a huge fan. My
You can
wife
feel it coming
has
out.
unlimited pain tolerance in certain
I know.
areas. I swear, it's like pluck a hair, nothing to them. To me, it's
Yeah.
like the worst thing ever. Pop some, like, pimple or something, to them, nothing. To me, I'm like, you might as well be stabbing me in the heart right now.
Yeah,
Like, it hurts
yeah.
so bad. And, like, oh my gosh.
Gabby has 3 tattoos. She said that it does not bother her at all. I watched her get one done. She was a little bit scared before. Did not bother her at all while it was happening. I've gone to the doctor with her. Whenever she gets, like, blood drawn like that, they're digging all around her arm. Does not bother her. We see a dead bird on the side of the road, bawling. She's absolutely bawling.
Yeah, like, there are some times in my life where I think to myself, I'm a pretty pain tolerant guy. Like, I've had some pretty annoying dental procedures, and also I've had 13 moles removed, and most of them or a good bit of them being while I was awake. And, like, that's not fun. You're having a scalpel dig into your back. Now they numb you up a little bit, but you still feel a lot. So, like, that is, like, there are moments like that where I'm like, you know what? I toughed that out. Like, and I was a bit older, but, like, you know what? Okay. But then there are some times where I'm like, my wife's just like, hey, let me pluck this loose eyebrow hair. And I'm like, I am such a little baby. Is I'm going to cry.
I know.
My eyes will start watering. Like, come on.
My mom always says that, like, it doesn't make any sense that I'm scared of needles because, like, pretty much the first 5 years of my life, I spent every Christmas on an IV because I had, like, bad asthma attacks. Like, every
That.
yeah, every Christmas I would get really bad asthma attacks before and after Christmas, and I would spend, like, weeks in the hospital.
You have asthma still? You beat it.
No, not
you
really.
beat it.
I beat asthma, but, like,
Hunter and you both have fake asthma.
well, like, so what happened was
crazy.
I still technically have it. I just don't have it bad enough to have an
That's
inhaler
same
or
with
anything.
Hunter. That's so weird.
Like, I can feel it at sometimes, but it just doesn't. It's not bad. But
Do you have an inhaler?
I have it just enough to be able to blame some to blame stuff on it, but it really just be because I'm not in good shape.
That's good.
But we've ended up finding out one doctor was like, because doctors never knew what it was. It was
Yeah.
basically the same symptoms as an asthma attack. And then one doctor was like, "Do you guys have a real Christmas tree?" And my mom was like, "Yeah." He was like, "Next year, try a fake one." And
You're allergic to pine?
I'm allergic to Christmas trees.
You had a real one this year.
Yeah, it's not a thing anymore. I beat Christmas tree allergen.
Oh, so you beat it.
But yeah, I was
heard of
allergic
that
to Christmas
before.
trees every year. We would
That's
get a real Christmas tree, and then I would have asthma attacks and go to the hospital and
That's
spend Christmas in
funny.
the hospital.
That is,
Yeah.
yeah, that would have been. I love real Christmas trees. I'm like a big real Christmas
Yeah,
tree
me
guy.
too. Me too.
The smell, like there's a multiple reason because my wife,
My wife was really nervous when we got a real Christmas tree this past year.
yeah,
Because she was like, "What if you're still allergic?" And I was like, "Well, then I'm an adult. I'll be like, oh, I can't breathe. Let's get rid of this tree."
my wife grew up with a fake tree, and our compromise we had 2 compromises. Number 1, I said we won't worry about getting a real tree until we have a house. We're not going to throw one in our apartment. And then number 2, I was like, we can have a second tree in another room if you want to have the other tree, like more of a, themed tree or whatever. That's fine. But the for me, as a kid, some years we'd even go, like one year we even went and cut down the tree ourselves. But like getting a different tree every year and being like, oh, that's a great tree this year, and then like the smell of the pine.
Yeah.
unmatched.
I won't go
incredible.
back to a fake tree.
One year, our tree
And also,
fell.
the thing that sucks, you have a fake tree, you have to store it somewhere.
Yeah, and it takes up so much storage, and it's so annoying to pack back up after you let all the branches down. Oh my gosh, dude, those things are huge. It's like I have a body in my storage closet. It's insane. Gosh, dude.
And you know what? You just take those those real trees, and you take it out in your backyard, and you cut it off branch by branch and burn it branch by branch.
Where I grew up, we had people, like there was a tree service that after Christmas would come around and collect them from the side of the road.
That's very cool. We have bulk trash pickup, but it just happened yesterday. So how far are we from Christmas?
No, they would. They would just come get them all and grind them up and throw them in the truck. So it was a great little strategy there, and no big deal. People complain about like, oh, you got to keep them alive in the pine needles. It's not hard.
No,
you just
put water in it. Every once in a while.
Yeah, and don't let the water get too low and let the seal break, because then it'll die. But also, pine needles don't go everywhere. It's not that bad. We have a cordless Dyson vacuum.
Yeah, we have just a regular vacuum, and it's not that big of a deal.
That's where I stand on Christmas trees.
I'm glad that you told me where you stand on Christmas trees, because it's something I've always wondered, and I always feel like it's been a point of contention in this office where like I want to talk about Christmas trees, but I'm not really sure where Trevor stands on them. Yeah. So I'm glad we got that.
We had to
out
air that one out.
Yeah, that was a very important one.
I'm also another thing.
I think it's also really important for everybody listening to know where you stand on Christmas
Another
trees.
thing that's important about my Christmas tree experience is I'm always a fan, like the theme tree for me. Like my favorite Christmas tree is the tree that just has like as many random ornaments as possible. Like, oh, there's that ornament we made in elementary school, and oh, there's that ornament that you got as a gift that one year, and it's super ugly. Like I love my Christmas tree to be like a history of the Christmas, basically.
I understand that. I wish I was like that. I'm not.
You have to make it look like a theme.
Yeah. It's my mom's fault, because like whenever we were kids, we're like, oh, Mom, the one that like I made for you when I was 3. She's like, all right, put it in the back of the tree. And like all that stuff goes on the back of the tree, because my mom went all out with like the most immaculate tree design.
I understand why people get into
every
that.
piece. And now like Gabby and I both, we switched between Walmart and Hobby Lobby, and between the two of them, we spent about 4.5 hours getting tree decorations, because what would happen was we would get one, and then we would go to Walmart. They would have it, but it'd be a little bit better. We'd go back to Hobby Lobby and return it. And then we'd be like, we just changed our whole theme of our Christmas tree.
Gotta switch everything
so
up.
this doesn't match anymore. Like the squirrels don't match anymore because they're a little too like off brown, and we've gone with like dark brown.
Yeah, I mostly like the old.
It's stressful, but man,
the ornament.
You get that cool boho tree going. It's good to go.
I like the ornament collecting, because for me, it's like going through a photo album when you're getting them back out each year.
Yeah.
It's like you like literally a lot of them have pictures of like my siblings and I, or like a date on them, stuff like that. Like we each had one from when we were born.
Yeah.
So I
like the customizable ones,
I think
especially if they're like glass or wood, because then it'll go with anything.
That was another part of our tree compromise in our house, is that when we do have 2 trees, I said we could have one tree be like
I
my
like that
throw up tree, and the other one being the decorative one.
Like one tree just with colored lights, and it's like gaudy, and there's just like
I don't like colored lights. No,
colored lights. No, okay.
No,
all right.
White lights. Our tree growing up we had a nice tree skirt, and then we always had white lights, and then here's what we did. We did have the same like red and gold ornaments, and like we had ones that were meant to like give it an overarching theme. We just filled in the cracks with like the other ones, so it wasn't like the entire tree had no theme. We did have like decorative ones up there.
That does make sense.
We had a very full tree always, though. We had a massive tree. It was a lot of weight on those things, and then sometimes you would like it was very hard to not forget them on the tree.
Yeah,
because there's a lot. One year our tree fell over. We had a really old tree stand until we got a new one, obviously. And we were laying on the couch watching TV, and our tree was just off to the right. And then all of a sudden, boom, boom, just right on top of like the end of our sectional, like on my dad's feet. So we had to like tie it up with a rope to the door, and then go out and get another tree stand. Then we got like the most overkill one ever.
Funny.
It was great.
I'm very impressed right now that I'm able to talk about this, because I can't talk about Christmas when it's not Christmas time.
Why?
It's like there's some people who like they want all the time to be Christmas time, but like if
No,
we
I'm
talk
not-
about Christmas and it's not Christmas time, if I see like those Christmas stores,
Yeah.
but it's not Christmas time,
I'm
I just
a-
get depressed because I'm like, it's not Christmas. We can't talk about Christmas.
I am I've always been I like Christmas to have its time, so I'm a post-Thanksgiving Christmas guy.
I love Christmas. I love Christmas, and whenever it's
Yeah.
like, whenever it's close enough to Christmas to look forward to it, I'm
Yeah.
okay with it. But like right now, we're not anywhere close.
No, like I'm okay of whispers of Christmas, but like for me, things don't really get going until after Thanksgiving. However, my wife will decorate our house probably in mid-October. So,
Yeah,
but that's okay. It's whatever.
uh,
What's my favorite? A Christmas Story. Is my favorite.
Home Alone,
That's a great one.
Die Hard. I'm one of those.
Don't
people.
be that guy. Oh my gosh.
I
I also
be that
really like
person.
It's a Wonderful Life.
I am scared of claymation.
Claymation what?
The claymation that is has like heat miser, snow miser. You ever thought of Santa Claus?
Oh yeah.
Yes. Okay, I know what you're talking about.
I am historically afraid of claymation, though. I will say.
I mean,
it
it's pretty
scares me.
freaky, to be
Freaks me
honest. I mean, Elf is also another one for me that I love.
Elf is a good one. I feel like everybody says Elf, so I didn't say it.
It is.
But
It is honestly a very good comedy movie.
it's a very funny movie,
very
and it has Zooey Deschanel in it, and she's funny as well.
Oh gosh, New Girl. Don't even get me started, dude. That trash show.
I knew her as a singer before I knew her as an actress. So
What?
yeah, she's a singer.
I know she's a singer, but I like what you
She
like.
had this group. I can't remember what it's called. I
Blue
can't
Man
remember.
Crew.
No, it was her and this guy, and they did music, and it was good. It's kind of like, you know, the Civil Wars are. All right, John. It's kind of like Johnny Swim esque. You Johnny Swim? All right.
I've heard of them.
I'm trying to think of like a guy girl dynamic thing. I can't.
Macklemore and Ryan Lewis.
It's kind of like Macklemore and Ryan Lewis. Yeah, it's kind of like that.
Okay, sick. I'm gonna have to give him a listen. I think that's
right.
gonna do it for today.
We talked for way longer than I thought we were going to. We have so much to do as soon as this camera turns
Has it been
off.
going for an hour and 23 minutes?
That's both podcasts.
Oh, okay. I was gonna say I'm pretty much sure I was tracking us to like
But-
45 minutes here.
Yeah, we've been going for about 45 minutes, it looks like.
Good
Fun.
stuff.
Bye.